Yes.
Welcome, everybody, for History Through Canadian Numismatics with my co-host Dale from Coin World UK, who's going to cover the European and British coinage, and I'm going to be covering the Canadian. How is everybody today?
I'm doing well, thank you. I've still got a sore swollen ear, but I've been drinking some of this, so probably shouldn't be drinking that too much.
I'm just on the water myself.
I'm on the tea.
Oh, be careful about that. You know, if you drink too much of that stuff, you can end up drowning in your teepee.
Yeah, teepee.
But, anyway, we're going to be covering 1935 through 1939 today, which is quite an interesting period in world history. And we're just going to give it a few minutes here, let everybody settle in and get a few more folks because we got Evil Arch Conservative, who is the number one player in this game. And she really knows her stuff. So anybody that's going to challenge her, you got your work cut out for you. All I can say is this.
Good luck.
Get your history information ready now.
Ready. There's Dean from My Family Collects. Good to see you, sir. And I hope you're feeling much better. And Evil Arch Conservative, Northeast Coins, and After Service Adventures. Great to see everybody here. Good to see you, sir. And I apologise for Sunday. I couldn't really talk. I've been swallowing this stuff, so before we start.
It's hard to believe that you weren't talking.
I know, that's what Zoe said. But yeah, I got a little bit of a selection. We'll start off with 1935, and I've got 1935 here somewhere. There we go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see what I have, and that way you ain't got to worry about what. I'm on the mend, bro. Good to see you both. It's definitely good to see you. And Dean, we need your PayPal address, please, brother.
Yeah, Dean, I really would like to pay you. And yeah, I've got a selection of Canadian 1 cent and 5 cent coins from 35 to 39 to use for reference and take a look. And this is an important period of in world history, especially in the Commonwealth, right, Dale? I mean, it
is indeed. It is indeed. There's a lot of changes. Obviously, you have Churchill warning people about, with Neville Chamberlain, and there's so much going on. How can I say? There's the certain party around the world being formed, socialists, nationalists.
Yeah. Neville Chamberlain was a sad character. I mean, I think his heart was in the right place, but he was far too soft and far too malleable for dictators to wrap around their fingers. And he thought he was doing the right thing without. He was trying to avoid war.
Yeah, he was. He was. It was a shame because Hitler could play him like a pawn.
Oh, he did too. He did too.
So yeah, it was a shame, and but yeah, I mean, I think if he was a bit more heavy-handed with what was going on in Europe, I think things would have been a little bit different. People wouldn't have been so weak. Followed his footsteps, but unfortunately, it was too little, too late, and this is where we are today. And but I'm just going to go through the history and see what we can dig out from 1935 to 1939. I'm pretty sure some gems will come up. And
oh, absolutely, absolutely. I got some nice collections of Canadian coinage to share. So, yeah, okay. Well, let's swing our cameras around to our coins then, and let everybody see what we have. And let's start it. You can start it off today if you want, Dale, and talk
okay,
about
let's try and get the
1935.
camera around. And audio camera down a bit.
1935.
There we go, 1935. So let's see what everybody else is doing. I'm having a diet orange soda, says Evil Arch Conservatives. I'm on the mend. I all just watching while doing bits and bobs. And so there's King George V there. This is a sixpence or a 6D. And I don't have the, I know I got all the dates here. So sixpence 1935. And wait, what when you got there 1 cent? Look at that. So go back to see the difference, because the effigy is going to be the same anyway. So
except again, we have the crown and you don't.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting, eh?
And your coins look so detailed. Look at our neck. There's no detail in that neck whatsoever, which is an absolute shame.
Yeah,
look at
they like getting that like you can see the Maltese cross in the front.
Yeah.
And I forget what they call that. I should look it up. It's like it's almost like is it a garland or garter?
Yeah, garter. Yeah. So it's
the reverse on this one's really nice. Look at the leaves on this baby. This is too bad it's got a little bit of a dent there on the rim, but other than that, it's not too bad.
What I like about these silver coins, they seem to hold their to the flowers of the nations, hold quite well with a lot of detail in there.
Yeah, we had 7,500,000 of these.
I don't know the mintages on these. I haven't got my books out, so but this one's not bad shape really for 1935. It's like nearly 86 years ago.
Yeah, hard to believe, eh? Evil Arch Conservative says January 8, 1935, Elvis Presley and his stillborn twin, Jesse Garin Presley, were born.
Oh, wow. I didn't know he had a twin, actually.
I did not know that either. In 1935, the Bank of Canada was established and issued a $500 banknote with Sir John A. Macdonald's portrait and a $1,000 note, which I really like, with Sir Wilfrid Laurier's portrait.
Indianapolis 500 winner Kelly Patilio, is that right? Would later be arrested several times, eventually serving time for attempted murder and rape. Oh my God. Okay, let's see what I can find.
Indianapolis 500 winner Kelly Patillo would later be arrested several times, eventually serving time for attempted murder and rape. Oh my goodness.
The Rolls-Royce Merlin engine aircraft engine was first flown at Hucknall Aerodrome. All of things and something.
being I'm from Alberta, I have to admit that 1935 was a wonderful year for Alberta because William Aberhart's Social Credit Party, they called them the Socreds, won in a majority, defeating Richard G. Reed's United Farmers of Alberta. And his Social Credit Party actually got Alberta out of debt and got them was the first to establish the Heritage Trust Fund, and up until our wonderful current government has put a squash on the oil industry here. We were the wealthiest province in the country, and we actually provided equalization payments to the poorer provinces. Now we're the shoes on the other foot, which is sad.
That's just crazy. That is. That's just Coin Junkie. Why would they change something that's running so well? I don't.
Oh well, the excuse they said they were looking for more fuel, less environmentally damaging fuels and whatnot. Ooh, this is a sweetheart. 1935 nickel. Look at this baby.
I got something really cool here, which is actually representation for tonight. Silver Jubilee celebrations for King George V. There you go.
Looks like he's wearing glasses.
It does actually. It's got some shades on there. Just taking it. It must be his Jubilee, his Silver Jubilee. It's all the shiny stuff coming in.
That's very interesting.
June the 10th, 1935, in a bold experiment to find a new approach to cure alcoholism, Alcoholics Anonymous is established by alcoholics. My dad was a member of over 20 years. Wow. Right, reflective cat size were first used on British roads.
1935. There were only 3,900,000 of these nickels made. That's fairly low.
I don't have any information on my coins, so only ones like the government announces plans to triple the size of the Royal Air Force in the next 2 years, partly in response to the Germans' rearmament. Oh, here you go. In Britain, 1st of June, the driving test becomes compulsory.
In 35, it took them that long to realize that they needed driver's tests. I guess it must have been really rough on the roads.
I don't think it was rough on the roads. I think it's more the roads were rough. We got a saying over it at the moment. We got a saying over here. It goes. There's some roads in these holes. There's not holes in the roads. There's roads in the holes.
That's bad.
There was a meme going. The Romans built roads with no degrees or any kind of any known kind of academical background, but we got all these engineers and we got more holes than anything.
Roman roads were some of the finest roads ever built and straightest.
Straightest, nicest, and still going today.
Yeah, absolutely. Evil Arch Conservative says August 14th, 1935, the Social Security Act becomes law, instituting a national system of social insurance, including old age pensions.
That's good.
Yeah. Ooh, I needed that.
Anglo-German naval agreement. Britain's agreed to Germany Navy equal to 35 of her own naval tonnage.
It's interesting the things that went on between Commonwealth countries and what would finally end up the Triple Entente and whatnot. In October of that year, after the Italian invasion of Abyssinia, Canada refused to support military interventions or sanctions.
Yeah, it's just crazy that it seems to be something going on between them in the background.
Hi,
you know
Gary.
what I mean? In a kind of crazy way. Alan Lane founds Penguin Books to be published for the first mass market paperbacks in Britain. Remember when you was a kid? Do you remember having like the Ladybird books?
You know what? I do. It wasn't always See Jane Run.
I remember Pat the dog.
Oh, Pat the dog. Yeah.
There's Andrew in here. Gary's metal detecting. Good to see Gary.
A magnitude 6.2 Timisming earthquake shook Western Quebec here in Canada.
That's a big. That must have been a big epicenter for that one.
Yeah, it caused a lot of souffles to flop. I love the early sports. The Montreal Maroons win their second and final Stanley Cup by defeating the Toronto Maple Leafs 3-0. The deciding game was played in the Montreal Forum, and this was the last time a non-Original Six team won the Stanley Cup until the Philadelphia Flyers won the 1974 Stanley Cup. Amazing.
Maiden flight of the Royal Air Force's Hawker Hurricane fighter aircraft at Brooklands. It's actually quite funny because the Hurricane was actually a biplane before it became a monoplane.
You're talking the Hawker Hurricane?
Yeah.
I did not know it was a biplane.
They took the top, obviously, took the top wing off to turn it, and it's actually proved more effective.
Isn't that interesting?
And the Spitfire was actually a seaplane at first.
Well, it did do a fair amount of flying over oceans, right?
It most certainly did. It did indeed.
Am I seeing things? I see Field Guy.
Field Guy. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I know he was streaming the other day, and I was just so tired, and I apologise not going in. As I said, I went wow, so I apologise, Mr. Field Guy. The release of Scrooge was the first all-talking full-length version of Charles Dickens' The Christmas Carol, with Sir Seymour Hicks in the title role.
Oh yeah, that was before. Oh gosh, what was his name? I've lost it.
I know you're on about though.
But you know the one I'm talking about, the black and white one, the good one,
the best one of the lot, the
best one of the lot. I can't remember his name now.
Zoe knows his name. Oh man, do you know what? I know that it's my weakest subject is actors, actresses, and music band members.
Minus any music after 1960. Apparently, I'm stuck in the big band era in the early rock and roll.
See, I was watching some old stuff last night. Actually, there you go. There's something for all of us, for all the sweet eaters out here. Roundtrees of York produced their first chocolate crisp bars, which was all in a 1937 be renamed the Kit Kat. Take
care, Gary.
Gary's I've been a bit lousy off and on last night after eating. Well, take care, Gary, my friend. I know you feel I'm not all that great. and it's good to see you. Get some rest. Keep hydrated, of course.
Crimson and clover over and over. I love that song.
We're on 1936 now. We are cool. So 1936. What have I got?
36 was really an important year, wasn't it, Dale?
It was indeed. All right. Let's have a look.
This particular 1 cent was only we only had 8,768,000 of them made, but keep in mind this 1936 has George V on it, and he died in 36.
He did.
And who can anyone tell us who took over very briefly and what happened?
I know.
Oh, I knew you'd jump it. I knew you'd be there like dirt on my sandals.
King Edward VIII.
So what's the story about King Edward VIII, Dale?
He was not playing royalty, and he wanted to advocate the throne because of his love with Catherine Seymour.
Catherine Seymour. It was Wallace Simpson.
Wallace Simpson, I mean.
Catherine Seymour. You're in the wrong century, bro.
I don't know why he said that. Sorry, I'm sorry. My brain is
Wallace Simpson. And why?
Wallace
because
Simpson,
she was
they went to France.
She was twice divorced an American.
Yeah, twice divorced American. And it's a mirror image of what Harry and Meghan's doing right now. Except Harry will not be king, unfortunately. So yeah.
Yeah, that was quite the fiasco.
I don't know why I said that. That's my brain.
I don't know. It's just, hey, I have brain farts too. It happens.
No, well, I know what I'm going to say, but my brain just lets it. I can't stop it. It's my condition, and that's my only problem.
Well, we can look past that problem, and we got what's the best thing to do? Laugh at it and carry on.
Exactly. There is a name for it, but I can't remember. I have got it when I went for the tests. They actually gave a name for it, and I don't know, and I've lost the actual word.
I always called it a brain fart.
Yeah, it's a brain fart for me. Yeah, it certainly is. Alan W. It's good to see all things, Andrew.
Yeah. So it happened across the Commonwealth, but in Canada, there were apparently, I thought it was more than that, but there were 3 coins produced in the penny and the 1 cent. I'm going to double check that because I thought there was more. But no, it says 3 specimens were known that are worth $400,000 a piece. And of course, they're all in private collections, but they're produced with a dot underneath the date.
Yeah, and if you can buy copies, but you have to be very careful that they do. You can buy, as they say, I would say like book fillers, which is okay. I mean, it's okay as long as they're registered and not paying. They should be worth no more than say a couple of pounds or a couple of dollars, depending where you are. Just know that they're not going to be real. They're not going to be thousands of dollars.
Yeah, for those of you that want a dot 36, Bradford Exchange was selling watches with a dot 36 watch face. I actually owned one for a while.
It's the year of the Three Kings stamp as well, postcard, I should say, the Three King postcard. So you have King George V, Edward VIII, and King George VI. So 2 brothers and a father, basically.
Mm-hmm. We had a bunch of things happen here in Canada. We had the Moose River gold mine collapse. That was a disaster.
Oh, that must have killed a lot of people.
Yeah. Thane Campbell became the premier of Prince Edward Island, replacing Walter Lee. And the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation replaced the Canadian Radio Broadcasting Commission. I think they're gearing up to go into television.
There's been a lot of history coming up. So we've had the prohibition of most employment for miners, the final reunion, blue and grey, held to commemorate the 75th. Do you know what? Actually, there's actually a YouTube video with that ceremonial date of the Civil War, which is really interesting. In that, the 11th February 1936, Auto Works General Motors plant Finchman State sit-down strike. At the South, one defeat in the Central 3-2.
Field guy invented soap in 1936, but forgot to know how to use it.
He blew up, didn't he, using the nitroglycerin inside it.
Yeah.
Wrong Way Douglas. Oh yeah, I remember that. Wrong Way Douglas. Yeah, he's supposed to fly across America, but he flew away to London, didn't he?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I wasn't there, but I do remember it.
Which is actually quite a feat, really. That's quite a flight, unless he went over the Pacific Ocean and went that way. Nationwide scare develops with Orson Welles broadcast. Oh yeah, I remember that. Everybody crapped themselves, didn't they? Margaret, some good stuff coming out here, really, between Evil Arch Conservatives and NW and Field Guy. Soap go. Soap go bang. King George V dies at Sandringham House, Norfolk, age 70. His elder son, Prince Edward of Wales, succeeds as King Edward VIII. That was on 20th of January, but it was almost a year. He would have been. He obviously advocated on the December the 11th, and obviously King George VI became king after the advocation with Wallace Simpson. King George VI became in as king, and if you've never seen the film, The King's Speech, really accurate film.
Yeah, because of course the king had a real problem with he had quite a stutter, didn't he?
He did, and Lionel, someone from Australia, got him to got him to talk correctly. I can't even talk myself.
Yeah. Do you know how late it was in 1936 when they finally passed the His Majesty's Declaration of Abdication Act?
January 11th.
It was December 11th.
Yeah, December.
That's almost pretty late in the year.
It was a long time. It's
also the year the Spanish Civil War began. Eventually, 1,135 Canadians will serve in the international brigades of the Republican forces in Spain.
And it's quite weird, really, because the backstory to that as well, that's how the Luftwaffe train their pilots.
That's true. Under the guise of flying clubs?
Yep. The first test flight of the Supermarine Spitfire flew from Eastleigh Aerodrome.
Yeah.
Audience survey begins rectangle triangle of Great Britain with the first triangular station at Colby, Ashbury, North Hampshire. The RMS Queen Mary leaves Southampton on a maiden voyage to New York.
Did you get the one about the execution from Evil Arch Conservative? April 3rd,
Margaret Mitchell Gomes
1936.
was published by December. I have to go back for that one.
Yeah, Richard Bruno Hauptmann executed for kidnapping the murder of the Lindbergh baby.
Oh, yeah. I like
And,
that.
Evil Arch Conservatives is great with this Indy 500s trivia.
Oh, yeah, I know. I actually quite like reading that. Nice to see Heather.
Louis Mayer wins his 3rd Indy 500. He celebrated with a bottle of buttermilk. Hello.
Here you go. The General Post Offices introduces the speaking clock.
A speaking clock?
Yeah, I used to phone. I can't remember what the phone number is now, but used to, if you wanted to say find out what the time was, you just go into a phone box, dial a certain number. They go at the first stroke, and it still went out. I'm not sure if it's still used today. It may be, but I don't know what the number is because we all got mobile phones. But you can go to a phone box, phone a certain number, and it'll say at the first stroke, it will be at 1 p.m. George McMahon. Oh, here you go. This is interesting. George McMahon tries to shoot King Edward VIII during the Trooping of the Colour ceremony.
Really? Hopefully, no relation to Ed McMahon.
No, I've not.
He's going, who's that? He was the co-host with Johnny Carson.
Oh, oh man, do you know this is what gets me? See, for celebrities and stuff, I can see their face, but I can't remember. What show is that?
Let's slip on over to 1937.
I start halfway through it. Actually, I haven't shown any. I haven't got any coins, have I?
Oh, do you see something different here? Let's look at the 36.
Is it a change of?
Let's look at the 36. See the 36? Now look at the reverse on the 37.
Ah, look at that. You got a bigger maple leaf now.
That's when it changed.
That's interesting, look.
Yeah.
So there's 1937.
And of course, obverse on mine. And look, we finally match.
You do indeed.
No crown. And why is there no crown, Dale? Do you remember?
Sorry?
Why does the king's portrait not have a crown on either coin?
Because he's not coronated yet.
Not something else too. He did not like wearing the crown.
Oh no, he didn't like wearing the crown. That's right. Yes, I forgot about that.
And the initial portrait of going a little further, his daughter honored her father by not wearing a crown in her initial coinage.
That's why she wears the laureated wreath.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know. It looks like he's wearing a hearing aid on this.
Yeah, I don't know what he's wearing. He looks like he's got an earring.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of damage.
I don't want to take out I don't have any flips left, so I don't really want to take it out the flip.
Yeah, 37, 1937.
Right, let's go to 30. So that's what the guys are putting out on the 37.
High mintage year, 10 million.
And I got something really interesting here, actually. Actually, I'll just go and show the farthing quickly. Oops. Right, 37. Here's the farthing. And if you want a reference size, there's the penny. So a farthing is basically means farthing or fourth of a penny. So you need 4 of these to make 1 penny.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I wonder how much you can get for a farthing back then.
Well, it's 240 pennies to a pound. So probably quite a bit, actually. I would say you would. I would be comfortable saying you probably would get a shoe shine, maybe something to eat, a ticket at the cinema, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the movies or something. And you have the wren on there, Eurasian wren.
Wow.
I love this bird. It's so simple.
LNW says that May 27, 1937, the Golden Gate Bridge opened to pedestrian traffic.
Yeah.
And 1 day later, the Appalachian Trail extended 2,000 miles from Mount Katahdin, Maine to Springer Mountain, Georgia was completed. That's not 1 day later. That's August 14th. So what happened 1 day later? Pope Francis was born December 17, 1936.
There you go. This is something interesting. Safety glass in vehicle windscreens becomes mandatory in the United Kingdom. Prince Edward abdicated, and King Edward VIII is created as Duke of Windsor.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. This is interesting because in April, the nickel brass 12-sided 3p coin was first introduced. Now, these take over these. So 1937's 50% silver 3p or 3p. And then these take over them. There we go. And they turn into our £1 coins later on in the years.
Wow. Oh, I've seen that one quite a few times.
So 1937 coin is
I can understand. Look at the mintage on that. It's huge.
Yeah.
1937, the Trans-Canada Airlines is the predecessor of Air Canada, was created as a subsidiary of, believe it or not, Canadian National Railway.
The Japanese Imperial Army ammunition dump explodes in Hirakata, Osaka, killing 94 people. April 20th, George Tako, Lieutenant Sulu on strike. Oh, look. Lieutenant Sulu is born. 19th, the Wilbur Shaw wins his first Indianapolis 500 and served as a president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 1945.
First ascent of Mount Luciana, which is the third highest mountain in Canada, occurred in 1937, 5,226 meters.
There you go. Frank Whittle tested the world's first jet engine in 12th of April, 1937. And then nobody wants to listen to him. Obviously, this is what happened. And they sold the design to the Americans. London bus drivers and conductors go on strike. The coronation of George VI and Elizabeth takes place at Westminster Abbey. The BBC makes it the first outside broadcast covering the event. The newly formed social research organisation Mass Observation makes the first survey of social attitudes on this day. George VI passes letters patent denying the style of the Royal Highness to the wife and descendants of the Duke of Windsor. Ooh.
1937, George Takei, Lieutenant Sulu on Star Trek, was born. April 20th.
He sounded just like Neville Chamberlain becomes Prime Minister after Baldwin's retirement, which was, as we said earlier.
Evil Arch pulls it off again. May 31st, 1937. Wilbur Shaw wins his first Indianapolis 500. He served as president of the Indy 500 Motor Speedway from 1945 until his death in 1954. Oh, and November 24th, the first Governor General's Awards were given out here in Canada. And in sports, what do we got in sports here?
You got the 1943 threepence.
Cool. Toronto Argonauts won the 4th Grey Cup by defeating the Winnipeg Blue Bombers 4-3 in the 25th Grey Cup, played at Varsity Stadium in Toronto on December 11th. It's pretty cool.
There you go. You know, I was saying about the Hawker Hurricane.
Yeah.
December, the Hawker Hurricane enters service with the Royal Air Force as it's the first monoplane fighter aircraft with number 111 Squadron at Norfolk.
That's very cool.
Births. Let's see if Shirley Bassey is born. You may know most of these. I really don't really know.
Do I know most of them? Nah, I don't go that far back, but
I'm just going to rip up the ones that I know. I mean, these people could be. They're going to be highly famous for. Sir Nicholas Shackleton, the geologist, died in 2000. He's gone then.
Interesting years.
These are very interesting years, to be honest.
1938.
Alrighty, 1938.
Yeah, with George V is still on the coinage.
Psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud rise in London, having fled from Vienna in Austria. The British naval base in Singapore begins operations. Goes one for Dean, actually. There's a Empire exhibition opens in Glasgow.
Oh, cool.
The Bren light machine comes into service with the British Army. I don't think that was a very good machine gun, I don't think, if I remember rightly.
It wasn't too bad. I hate to admit this. I have fired the Bren. It had an interesting way of removing the magazine because it was mag-fed on top.
Yeah, that's right.
It had a curved magazine, and it had a little. Yeah. The release was right in the front. It was like a little metal circle deal that you used the palm of your hand. So you would hit that and force the magazine forward to remove it.
Yeah, they relied on gravity to push it. Gravity and springs to push it down, didn't they?
Yeah.
But was it in cold weather? It wasn't very good.
No, it wasn't very good in cold weather. But then again, any machine gun, depending on the barrels got hot, and if you fired too many rounds, the barrels actually tended to warp.
Yeah.
Okay, there's.
But wasn't the sight on the slightly on the side on the brown machine gun. So like really weird to fire.
You know what? I think it was. It's been so long since I fired it. Now I'm trying to visualize here. Yeah, because you had the magazine in the line of sight. It had the sight had to be offset.
But the problem with that, though, if you were left-handed, it was very awkward to fire, I suppose.
Oh, tell me about it. It'd be horrible.
I mean, I fired the SLR, and that's a left-hand. That is basically a left-handed machine gun, because the breech is on the left. So you had to sort of tip it over to cock it.
Mm-hmm.
Very heavy gun. Very heavy gun.
There are 10 million of the 37 pennies produced for Canada.
This has, I don't know.
Wow, these guys giving lots of information on 1937 here and 38. 38.
The March of Dimes is established with President of the United States, known as the Franklin D. Roosevelt. You know, I've been reading quite a bit on this. I actually really enjoy reading the chat.
I do too. They're jumping a bit here, so I'm trying to keep it in order. Yeah, like 37, Joe Louis became the heavyweight champion, knocking out Jim Braddock in the 11th round. That was in 37. 38. LNW says 3rd of January, the March of Dimes. That's the one you just read. Established by President of the United States as President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Okay, cool.
There's the farthing. There's the 3 pence again. This is one of my favorite designs.
For all us nerdy people, Superman first appeared in Action Comic #1 in June of 1938 as the backup feature.
Yeah, he wasn't a main character, was he?
No, the character was created by Joe Shuster.
Yeah.
He's an artist for the Toronto Star, Canadian, and American writer Jerry Siegel for National Comics.
And I believe they got done over or sacked. And they went over to DC. I believe they started writing and drawing for DC, which is obviously going to be Stan Lee's, one of his franchises with I think I remember watching a documentary on that a while ago. And one for Dean as well, for the Scottish people out there. 30th July 1938, the Beano comic first goes on sale, featuring the character Lord Snooty.
That sounds familiar. I think I've seen that.
Yeah, the Beano and the Dandy.
January 28, 1938, the League of Women Shoppers urges a boycott of silt to pressure Japan into terminating its undeclared war on China. Oh, that's silk, not silk. It's undeclared war on China. However, representatives of the American Federation of Hosiery. Okay.
There's something about this earlier. Chamberlain signs the Munich Agreement and resolution with German determined to solve all the future disputes between two countries through peaceful means.
We shall have peace in our time.
Do you remember when he waved a piece of paper?
Yeah.
There we go. Naval Chamberlain returns from the UK from Munich at Heston Aerodrome. Here we go. Remember, he waving a resolution signed the day earlier with Germany. Later in Downing Street, giving the famous "Peace for Our Time" speech. George VI and Queen Elizabeth appear with Chamberlain on the balcony at Buckingham Palace to celebrate the agreement.
Boy, how well did that turn out, eh?
Yeah, with a few hundred million died. And yeah, oh, look at that, my phone's broken. Yeah, it didn't go down too well. The aircraft carrier HMS Ark Royal is launched Um, so yeah,
vaccination for tuberculosis, the leading cause of death in young people, is introduced in 1938. I was actually surprised that it was that far back.
Right. Yeah. Gas masks are introduced to the civilian population. Test cricket is televised for the first time. Women's volunteering service founded assistance as civil defense service.
Gee, I used to watch Evel Knievel. Evil Arch Conservatives is October 17, 1938. Motorcycle daredevil Evel Knievel was born. He's actually 10 years younger than my dad. I used to watch him.
I love Evel Knievel.
Yeah, you remember his jump across the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, I do.
That
indeed.
was cool. Crazy
and
about that.
Do you know who his rival was?
Ooh, Weeble Knievel?
Weeble. Yeah, definitely did, but he didn't. He definitely fell down. I remember that jump over in Wembley Stadium over the buses.
Yeah.
Where he broke every bone in his body.
Yeah.
Well, his rival when he was older was obviously a younger lad. And oh my God.
Wasn't Ghost Rider, was it?
No. Well, he is now. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was Eddie Kidd. I'll just check his name. Cool. He was an English guy. I think it was Eddie Kidd.
LNW says July 3rd, 1938, world speed record for a steam engine railway locomotive is set in England by the Mallard locomotive. Mallard, which reaches a high speed of 126 miles per hour.
Yeah, Eddie Kidd. He was an English former stunt performer. He was paralysed and suffered brain damage during an accident in 1996. He's 62 years old now. But yeah, he was trying to break Evel Knievel's. He probably did break some. I'm not saying all, but he broke some of the records that Evel Knievel set out.
1938, July 3rd, United States President Franklin D. Roosevelt dedicated the Eternal Light Peace Memorial and lights the eternal flame at Gettysburg Battlefield. I did not know they had an eternal flame there.
What year are we on now? We on?
No, we're still on 38. We're just finishing up.
Yeah, I was just catching up with
28th of July, 1938, a Hawaii Clipper disappears between Guam and Manila as the first loss of an airliner in Trans-Pacific China Clipper service. Evil Arch Conservative says Floyd Roberts wins the 1938 Indianapolis 500. July 31st, archaeologists discover engraved gold and silver plates from King Darius.
Oh, wow.
He was the king of Persia, wasn't it? Yeah. The first known as Darius the Great in Persepolis. Yeah, he's the Persian king. Wasn't Darius the one that went against was it Darius that went against the Spartans? Was it Darius or was that his son? I can't remember.
I don't know. I'll have to check that out. To be honest, I don't really honestly know. Is that where the 300 come from? Because I thought Darius was. Do you know? I think I got a Darius coin.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure it rings a bell. It's a Darius coin. So I think I featured it on a. No, it can't be a Darius. It might be. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
You
know, Evil Arch Conservative has brought on a very important historical bit of information here. May 17th, 1938, the Venison Naval Act, requested by President Roosevelt, passed by Congress. It provides for the construction of a 2-ocean navy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they hadn't done that and there was no navy sitting at Pearl Harbor?
It would have been a different story for the United States. You know, the United States was actually bombed by the Japanese by balloons.
Yes, yes, absolutely. 1938, the ocean liner RMS Queen Elizabeth launched in Glasgow.
Mm-hmm.
Busy year, 38, eh?
It was a very busy year because obviously tensions are getting high. The Germans are already invading the Sudetenlands, taking over Czech Republic. That's already all been done.
Do you know what I've missed in this from this time period? No one has brought up the Olympics.
Oh, with Jesse Owens?
Yeah, and Jesse Owens. That was, what, 36?
And there's also another important feat about that as well, was a famous American runner as well. You may have seen it, called Unbroken. He's obviously passed on now, but not so long ago. And he actually raced his rival, who was his captor, in the 1936 Olympics. Was it 38 Olympics?
36.
36. And do you know that he shook Hitler's hand, and so did Jesse Owens? But when Jesse Owens went back to the United States, Roosevelt didn't shake his hand.
That says some very bad things.
Yep.
Yeah, L&W, the Munich Agreement in Germany was an issue too, giving permission for France, Italy, and Great Britain to seize the territory of Sudetenland.
Yeah, it was all being done. That was where Blitzkrieg come into it as well. The problem with Blitzkrieg is that the tanks are going fast and the men can walk, so they couldn't really refill their tanks up. And obviously, I believe it's 30, when we get onto the next year.
Yeah, 39. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, let's end it with this last thing that we're looking at. Two things. LNW says the League of Nations unanimously outlaws intentional bombings of civilian populations. The League of Nations was a paper tagger, a predecessor of the United Nations. It was a joke. And the Great Depression, in an effort to restore investor confidence, the New York Stock Exchange unveiled a 15-point program aimed at upgrade the protection for the investing public.
Well, the thing was what with the what he bought, what LNW brought up with the bombing of I'm sure we'll bring it up as well in later on as time goes on. With that, when that treaty was signed, that was in with the I believe it was in World War One. It was redone again. The Geneva Convention of treaty of prisoners, but Japan and Russia never signed it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there was two lots of different types of prisoners of war. If you get my drift.
Yeah. You're gonna like this, Nickel.
Yeah, I see it as that is just pretty, man. That is absolutely really pretty.
I mean, that's almost pristine. This. I mean, look at this for a 38.
You just made that ready, haven't you? You just poured it.
No kidding.
Be honest.
We've had so much. There's a lot of issues here because 38 was such a tumultuous period. I mean, we're talking about a lot of anti-Semitism. You're right about Kristallnacht. That was terrible. And of course, that was bubbling over again because of the way Germany was forced to pay so much back after World War I. Everybody was broke, and the anti-Semitism was just used as fuel to get people going.
Yep, it was. I mean, they the more money they printed, the less it become valuable.
Yeah, it was not a good thing at all. So
we're missing out. We're only hitting the iceberg here. We're not even.
Oh, you know what? We're gonna cover more of this the next time around. As we discussed earlier, there's just so much that you can discuss on each one in a little over an hour, and we'll be going backwards in time and possibly looking at some newer different coins and see what other historical things that happened during that period. 39 though is like the big year.
The big year obviously, I will quickly go. I'll just run through the Pioneer US Aviation millionaire is officially declared dead 18 months after a disappearance. January the 13th, Black Friday, something when people die in Victoria when Australians' worst ever bushfires. Yeah, so this is Norway claims Queen Maud land as Antarctica in Antarctica. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
1930 Chilean earthquake. An earthquake in Chile kills 30,000 and raises about 50,000 square miles to rubble, I guess. Spanish Civil War.
Go ahead.
I've forgotten about the balloon bombings.
Yeah. What's that about the Spanish Civil War?
The Spanish Civil War, Spanish nationalist troops aided by Italy to take Barcelona. In Paris, French Foreign Minister Georges Bonnet, in response to rumours in which are true, that he's seeking to the end of French alliance system in Eastern Europe, and gives a speech highlighting his government's commitment to the Cordon Santander. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I apologise if I'm not.
Did you know 1939, King George V and Queen Elizabeth, Queen Mum, began their royal tour of Canada, eventually visiting every province and Newfoundland in 39, the year the war started.
The Queen Mum was just a down-to-earth lady. She was.
Oh, I loved her. She was marvelous.
I can still remember her smile when she's, even when she was out walking around a little and right up to.
She liked her horses.
Oh, she did indeed. Mad driver as well, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
The Golden Gate International Expedition opens in San Francisco. An Imperial Japanese Army ammunition. I already spoke about that.
Yeah. The Department of Labor in Canada established the Wartime Prices and Trade Board to control inflation. Prime Minister Mackenzie King called for a special session of Parliament to discuss a declaration of war versus Nazi Germany. The session lasts until September 13th, so a whole 5 days.
Oh, I didn't realize it was 1 year at a time.
You'll get the hang of it as we're doing it. It's easier for us to keep everything in order.
The first Anderson shouter is built in London. The Anderson shouters were the air raid shouters.
Yeah.
The Borley Rectory, a reputed haunted house in Essex, is destroyed by fire. The Royal Armour Corps is formed. The Women's Royal Naval Service is re-established. There's lots and lots of military stuff here. It's too much to even go through.
I got 4 I'll cover here. World War II, Canada declared war on Germany on September 10th of 1939, 1 week after the United Kingdom did. And Canada established a High Commission of Canada in Canberra, Australia. Australia reciprocated the next day. And the Royal Canadian Navy escorts the first of many transatlantic convoys to the UK, which they needed badly.
Yeah, that was the was that part of the Liberty ships and supplies?
Yeah, that's right. That was the beginning of it. And then World War II, the air training facilities are set up in Canada to train pilots from Britain and the rest of the Commonwealth. And believe me, we had a lot of flying going on here in Canada.
I bet in them days it was like a plane every second. One of my favourite films, in fact, was broadcast May the 15th. The film Goodbye Mr. Chips is released, to which Robert Downey will win the Academy Award for Best Actor. I love that film, Goodbye Mr. Chips. The Women's Auxiliary Air Force is created as Auburn. 48 RAF companies, the Auxiliary Territorial Service has been formed since 1938.
The 1st Canadian Infantry Division landed in Scotland on December 17th en route to England. The division is accompanied by a team of announcers and technicians who set up Radio Canada's first overseas service.
Hey!
That is so cool.
September 2nd, most paintings from the Royal National Gallery, actually National Gallery, and it's now called the Royal, in London are evacuated to Wales. There's just lots going on. It is
so busy in 1939. It's insane because we're talking in the time. Oh boy, did he ever get carved up? You poor guy. Someone did not like you.
The first bomb of Wilhelmshaven in World War II by the Royal Air Force is Vickers Wellingtons. I like the Wellington bombers.
Let's take a look.
Did you know it was a mixture between the Wellingtons and the Halifax formed the Lancaster?
You know, I'm not familiar with the older models. I've been in a Lancaster bomber, not flying.
You haven't. Don't say you haven't. You haven't, have you?
I have. I've been in a Lancaster.
Do you know what? I saw a video the other day of a Lancaster flying over the Niagara Falls inside cockpit view.
Yeah, there's not much space to move around in them. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't know. I will bring it down. I used to build models all the time. I had thousands and thousands and thousands of them. And I mean, every week, me and my brother would be building cars, motorbikes, aeroplanes, mainly aeroplanes. And we'll have 5 or 6 planes the same, but different colors, different squadrons.
Right.
And I just gave them all away, all over the place. Gave them all the way back from biplanes, all the way up to modern day. Small ones, big ones. My only plane I have left now, which I built years ago, was Guy Gibson's It's all hand painted. It's not the spray crap stuff. It's all hand painted. And some of my planes were in displays in the. Do you know you go into a terminal, air terminal?
Yeah.
And you book your flights on in military. You take your passing to show your route, like the terminal. I had 4 of my planes in RAF Lynham on display, and in it was 2 down in Fairford and a few other places. I don't know what's happened to them. Obviously, they're probably all crumbled up by now. But the only plane I have left is upstairs in a box, which is Guy Gibson's Lancaster. And it's probably collecting dust right now.
See, now I didn't know you built models. We're gonna have to discuss that later because I build armored vehicles and
okay,
whatnot. But
yeah, it's one of my favorite things. My son's got cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
And I got some photographs somewhere of him building a plane that he done himself to get his motor skills going.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Because then he can see the numbers to the thing and go from there. So that's why I started up again.
Awesome.
I was over 16 years ago now. 15 years ago, maybe, I don't know.
Oh.
Crikey.
I see Evil Arch Conservative says April 30th to October 31st, 1939. The New York World's Fair was held in Queens, New York. The theme of the fair is World of Tomorrow, and Germany does not participate. I wonder why.
I wonder why. It's funny that, isn't it?
Isn't that the one where they had the two flying looked like flying saucers? The ones that they were on the movie oh gosh, what's it called now? Men in Black. And
is that where on the pedestal things?
Yeah, they were stuck on like long high towers, and they looked like flying saucers on the top. I'm pretty sure that's the same World's Fair.
I'm pretty sure it might be. I do you know. Do you know when you get into like a zone and you just like things just go blank, just concentrate?
Yeah.
The Duke of Windsor appointed the Major General to attach the British military missions to France. Aircraft carrier HMS Courageous is torpedoed and sunk at German submarine U-29. And in the western approaches, the loss of 515 crew. This needs to go over and over again, I think. The first war tax is revealed by the cabinet, including a significant rise in income taxes. Identity cards are introduced, obviously for obvious reasons.
Right. May 11th, 1939, a fire in Chicago grain elevator takes several lives and destroys over 4 million bushels of grain.
1939, the first rabbit born after artificial insemination is exhibited to the world.
Okay.
And Roosevelt had 3 terms in office as well, by the way. I think he's the only president to do so for obvious reasons.
Despite dealing with his illness too. That was quite
polio,
quite
wasn't
amazing. It was which?
Was it polio?
It was polio. Was it polio? Yeah, he was in a wheelchair. Yeah, it was polio, I think. Correct us if we're technically incorrect. We're never wrong, but we're technically incorrect a lot.
I'm always bloody wrong, me. The first soldier of the British Expeditionary Force killed. Corporal Thomas Priday triggers a French landmine.
Friendly fire. That's sad. LNW says 21st September 39. Romanian Prime Minister Armand Salinescu is assassinated by far right-wing legionnaires of the fascist paramilitary organization called the Iron Guard.
Wow.
I honestly never heard of that. 28th of September, 39, Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union, German-Soviet Treaty of Friendship. Yeah, the non-aggression pact that allowed them to go through Poland. See how that worked out.
Yeah, I did
Cooperation
well.
and decimation demarcation agreed on a division of Poland after their invasion during World War II. God, they were such cutthroats.
The first bomb lands in the UK at Hoy in Orkney Islands.
15th of November, in Washington, D.C., U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt lays the cornerstone of the Jefferson Memorial.
Do you know what got me right? When I had my newspapers of Second World War day by day events, even though there was like major stories going on, what got me was the loads of advertising. You know, buy your best jam here, or get your best. You know, look great in shoes. And I think that's what gives the British people the spirit. Is like life still went on.
Mm-hmm. It was crazy. But they did. And again, they didn't have all the social media and whatnot. They were primarily radio. You know, they
was radio.
TV hadn't even really taken off at all. But
there's 1939 2 shillings, 20 million. Not toning on that. That's nice.
Very nice toning on that one. Yeah. You know, we've had so many good bits of information today. I'm almost overwhelmed.
I'm overwhelmed. I absolutely love this. I wish you can do this every day.
Yeah, we would have to start back in Roman times, though.
I don't care. Just keep going backwards.
But I mean, we're touching on little bits and pieces. I mean, in 1 hour you can only hit on so much. But yeah, it's pretty good, and I'm glad to see Darren here.
Darren's here.
He's already overwhelmed.
No, I like to say thank you for having me up, my friend. I just love it.
Hey, you're my co-host. I mean, what the heck? This is great. Nice. I
enjoy reading the chat. I got the chat there. I've got like a bit of read here. I've got my coins there. So it's actually more organized than battle chat.
Me too. We've had a really good session.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Course, I'm not even going to call it.
Conservative came out strong again early, right on dot. But LNW came in there too.
Yeah,
and brought some good facts.
Do you know what? I reckon it's. I'm just doing this for the fun. I'm not doing it for the win or anything. And I'm gonna let you call that one, sir, because that's a difficult one.
You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do, because they were so Evil Arch Conservative. It's a giver. She's gonna get a coin.
Yeah.
But LNW, because you came in and you were diligent and you shared, and if we get more people, I'll be a little tougher on people, but I'm going to send each of you a coin. So LNW, I'm going to draw yours first. I'm going to draw yours first out of my magic bucket list here. Let's see what you're going to get, LNW. And no idea. What do we got here? LNW, you're getting yourself a buffalo nickel.
Hey, look at that.
So you got a buffalo nickel. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to have to get a new envelope for LNW. And make sure that you send me your address at redcoat7121@yahoo.com. I'll put it in the chat.
Buffalo.
So I'll give that LNW. I get that marked for you. And for our wonderful Evil Arch Conservative, who is going to not have to worry about getting anything from her local coin store anymore, because she is just kicked butt. really do a number here and see what we come up with. And she gets
Canadian.
a
The chocolate coin.
1960 Canadian nickel.
Oh, show me.
1960.
That's a nice coin, that is.
Yeah. Some people call that a young head, but it's actually referred to as an old effigy.
We call that the first portrait.
Yeah. So you've got
Is she
yourself
wearing a tiara there now.
I call it a laurel wreath.
Oh, Laurel. So that was from 1953 to 1960, and I think 60.
That's 60. That one.
60 to 67. Well, up to 70 was the first crown, obviously, and then after that it was I think it was a tiara. Then it was the crown. Then it just switched backwards and forwards. Crown, tiara, crown, tiara.
Wow, that was awesome.
You went to Robert Mimscon's, but there's going to be 3 candidates.
Yeah, no kidding. I haven't seen Robert in a while.
No, he's not been well, has he? He's Buffalo.
There you go. Redcoat7121 at yahoo.com.
Hey, D.
And I haven't seen your address yet too, Evil Arch Conservative. Hey, Darren, do you want to come up for a few minutes? See if that still works. Go over here.
He says, sure. Hi, Heather.
Okay, let's make that happen.
What have we got here? You never guess what piece of music I got in my head.
Here we go. That should work.
I got a Canadian coin here, actually. This is going to be one of my questions for the next week's.
What do you got there? That looks Canadian to me.
It is Canadian. It's going to be one of my questions.
That's it.
It's a moose.
Uh-huh.
It's only 1977, 25 cents. But it's going to be one of my questions for my next quiz day on Sunday.
And there he is.
Hello,
Good
sir.
evening, afternoon, and wherever you be around the world.
Happy Thanksgiving to you guys in the beautiful Canadian country.
I actually had my Thanksgiving dinner yesterday. Today was eating all the wonderful pastries and stuff my granddaughter made, and I feel rather full.
I've only been bothered by it, truthfully, because Thanksgiving, a good thing to be bothered by. I had to take some packages to the post office, and now my normal days off from my current position are Sunday, Monday. So I got some things packaged up and I had some running around to do, so I tossed them in the car with me and off I went. And as I rolled up in front of the post office, I realized this is closed. Oh, it's Sunday. What am I doing? Then I thought, well, there's always tomorrow, Monday. But Monday is a statutory holiday. So I'm not getting this stuff sent away on Sunday or on Monday. So that's going to delay things somewhat. And one of them is a purchased item. So I want to get that into the mail as quickly as possible. But
yeah.
I guess there's been a conspiracy against my success, and I am not going to get that into the mail till Tuesday. So if you know who you are, who bought something from me recently, too bad. And I will get it posted as quickly as possible, but not till...
I'm glad you reminded me.
Soon.
I just did an eBay sale, and I just realized, hey, can't do anything today anyway.
Well, this is it. I wanted to put together that package for Opus, and I wanted to include those Klondikes because you should have seen. I still have to do a video of my own of what he sent me in that box. It was just whatever. I'm glad I didn't send mine away to you because it would have been so lopsided. I would have felt horrible. I'm going to reuse that box and stuff it and send it back. So
yeah,
he's kind of getting one of everything I had. You should. I asked him for a certain dollar amount, and he said, how about if I give that to you, but in different coins? So I said, why not? Like, why wouldn't I want that? So Susan B. Anthony's got some Sacagaweas, got some Star Notes, got some mint sets, got some. But if you were to take all the coins that arrived and add up what and the bills, it's more than enough to cover it. So awesome deal. There's a gentleman for you. Who's that?
That's Buchanan, isn't it? That's James Buchanan.
James Buchanan. Liberty, baby.
Oh, yeah, I got one of those.
And the dates and everything are on the side, on the edge of the coin, by the way.
Say goodnight to Evil Arch. They said they have to drop out, or tried to drop out. Sorry, tried to drop out. I tried to drop out? What does that mean, I tried to drop out? Just go into the park next to the school, smoke a lot of weed, and drop out. Nothing to it.
Kind of sounds like our generation.
Say nothing.
Not mine.
No, not at all.
Cooking in a mo. How do you do?
Cooking in a mo. What does that mean?
I believe they're from the Philippines.
Philippines. Cooking in a mo.
In a mo.
Is their name.
Is a mo something you cook food in? Is it large? Should I invite friends?
Or cooking in a moment. In other words, it's very quick.
Yeah.
Throw it
like
in the wok.
Done.
Don't you find wok cooking fast? It's like fast.
Oh, you know what? I absolutely love the way they do wok cooking.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, what can go wrong?
Did you just say what can go wrong?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, I'm perplexed because my wife has informed me that she doesn't like any Oriental foods, any rice dishes or anything, and I love them. So
what?
I love that stuff. Same with Greek food. I love Greek food. Oh yeah.
I love Chinese food and rice stuff. Anything rice. I make rice dinners.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
Anything can go with rice.
Just about anything.
She's not English. I'm sorry, but that is not right. Rice is everything, and rice pudding, rice meals. Rice is good.
Yeah, you can't classify rice pudding in the same category. Rice pudding is a dessert that's delicious.
Yeah, exactly.
I could eat that rice coming out my ears.
Rice is like diverse for everything.
No raisins though. I don't want raisins in rice pudding.
No.
Whipped cream though is great on it.
Lots of milk, lots of cream.
Lots of milk. Oh, milk is good on it. Yeah.
Yeah, milk, lots of cream, lots of sugar. Let it cook. Have that skin on it.
And if you get the light brown crust on it,
yeah,
magnifique.
See, I'm thinking rice, potatoes, or pasta. The three things that go with a meal besides vegetables. So you're going to have a meat, you're going to have a rice, or a potato, or a pasta, and your
Yeah.
vegetables. That's a
Yeah.
meal.
We're gonna get along fine, Darren.
That's how my
me.
mama taught me.
That's me. Yeah, my mother did the same thing.
And then my 98-pound sister would help. She'd have me help her eat because she wasn't allowed to leave the table if she wasn't done, and she'd be caused to cry if she didn't get it done. So she'd be handing me things under the table I would be gobbling. So I became big and she stayed small. What a bitch.
You know what? My wife has got a metabolism where she can eat just about anything and not gain a lot of weight. I mean, as she's gotten older, she's gained a little bit, but she's always been skinny. So it's kind of like I gain weight from the air around her. I can just sit next to her and freaking like, come on, give me a break.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Your plate's like a contact lens, and hers is like.
The stuff she
and
eats
you're
just
like
blows me
you're
away.
feeling guilty for taking the bite, so her weight lands on you somehow.
Calories by osmosis, boys. I don't know how it works.
I don't know. Ever since I got that surgery, everything tastes so damn good now.
Good for you, though. Yeah, you got to find a way around that. But yeah, good for you, though. You want things to taste good. I'd have a fat life with good tasting stuff over a skinny life with crappy tasting stuff any day. Life is short. Love the one you got.
That's pretty well it. Hey, I've got to look at the positive here. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm actually looking at going back to work. Yes, you heard it. You'll never believe the job I applied for. I'm just waiting to hear back.
Walmart greeter.
Let me guess.
Walmart greeter.
Right, knowing your background, probably bomb detector,
Museum curator.
landmine detector.
You would never ever guess this.
I'm gonna lollipop man.
Bus driver.
No, I've already done that.
Oh, come on, give me a break. Wes, you're going to say Wes? You're going to West Edmonton Mall tour guide.
No, he's going to be.
You're halfway there.
He's going to be West Edmonton history guide.
I know. I'm not gonna. I could say what it is now. I know what it is. I remembered. So it's not fair. I remembered. I don't.
Okay, let me have a guess then.
Okay, listen. I want to give you a hint. Look carefully and think it through. There are hints nearby. Look carefully, think it through. There are hints nearby.
He's going to be a West Edmonton Museum night guard.
They'll give him a gun and everything. It'll be a squirt gun, but it's a gun.
Yeah.
One more. Come on. How about Chat, what is this man going to do with his spare time? What kind of thing could he be suited for?
What do you think I'm going to do for 6 weeks before Christmas?
He's going to be Santa in the West Edmonton Mall.
Are you ready for this? You know how much they pay?
Well, it's a one-day job.
$50 an hour. $50 an hour, and this year they don't even sit on your lap. You're basically like 6 feet away behind an enclosed area, and you wave at the kids while they take a picture with you in the background going.
Bad Santa.
So I'll cross my fingers if that goes through. I'm all ready. I'm geared up.
Yeah, yeah. Did you show up in character for the, or did you just bring pictures?
I had to send in a resume with a partial video. Hey, I got the YouTube video, so I sent them a copy and a photograph. So they can hear me and how I interact.
Good reason why you need Santa's video. You kind of know what I look like already, but okay. Yeah, that you would have been. I would have been. Yeah, you're like a shoe-in.
Really, he's the West Mall cop.
You ever see that movie, Paul Blart Mall Cop?
Yeah.
It's gonna be Santa. It's gonna have a one of those segways. Santa on a Segway.
Yeah, it's not a sledge anymore. It's a Segway.
With a
I'd
little
be
red light
wiping
out
out
the
all
front
over the
like a
place.
nose.
Yeah.
I
That's
could
his
see
headlight,
myself
big
falling
red
flat in
nose.
my face.
I'm still going with the landmine detector though.
Just
You know
give
what?
him a-
I believe it or not, I was a pioneer in the infantry, so I know how to prod for mines.
Boy.
Yeah, but you just walked through the field. Oh, I'm here now.
No, I only did that once, and that's because I was all smashed up. No, that was different.
Yeah.
You prod to get out. Just to let you know, an anti-tank mine is always interspersed with at least 3 anti-personnel mines, and they're always booby trapped. So you have to take what they call a prodder. You can use just about anything for a prodder, and you go at an angle of about 45 degrees to find it, a few inches apart. Then you find each one. Then you have to clip them off, make sure that you check if whether it's a pull or like you have 2 different types of booby traps on there. So it could be tension release, so you don't want to break the tension, or it's loose. So it's not easy to get through mine. So that's why you want a flail tank, and it just beats the thing and blows everything up in front of you. A lot easier.
Yeah, they were called, those tanks back in World War II were called the funnies.
Yeah, we used the Matilda flails.
How long were the chains on the flails on a flail tank?
Flail tank, I'm thinking back because I've seen lots of them. They sit about face high, the big cylinder, and they're big heavy chains with balls on the end of them.
Yeah, they're thumping
And they
the
just
ground,
rotate in the front of the thing and beat the ground.
setting them
So you're
off in
talking
front.
about 5 foot high or so.
Yeah, the nickname for them in World War II was the funnies.
They would be.
Because they look funny.
Yeah, we don't have anything to do with Columbus Day up here, but we at least have our Thanksgiving early enough where it doesn't conflict with Christmas. I couldn't handle having turkey dinners that close together.
I just don't know how they can handle that. But
yeah, bad enough we got there.
I mean, still recovering. By the time you recovered the first one, I mean, you just got over Halloween, which is like loads of candy. Then you got the enormous turkey. You know, you can get the biggest turkey.
You're forgetting Remembrance Day's in there on November 11th too, and that's a big thing here.
That's a big thing, yeah. That's a huge thing. That is probably someone's birthday party or someone's anniversary.
Always.
And then there's Christmas. So it's like, ouch.
Yeah, the only good thing here is that we've done most of our wrapping and stuff. It's done. So, you know, I just have to decorate the house and get her ready. And believe me, when we do the house, we do the house.
You do the house. I like to see that when you get it all done up.
All that is Christmas decorations in there. The whole thing.
Oh, wow.
Going back like 15, 20 feet. It's crazy. We talk like a Christmas tree on each level, 4-level split. And I got a Christmas tree on all 4 levels.
When do you put your tree up? The 1st of December?
And if my wife says she's not Mrs. Claus, she's lying. Because she is the way bigger Christmasaholic than I am.
Is that your favorite time of the year, Christmas?
Well, yeah, it is. It is. And we start setting up right after Remembrance Day, and it doesn't come down till 2 months after New Year's.
Or it starts falling down by itself.
No, it takes me forever to take the stuff down. There's too much. So, anyway, gents.
I don't know what we're doing this year. It might be here or might go away yet. I don't know yet.
I've got some company that have shown up in my house, so I'm going to have to make like a tree and leave. And we should at least take a look and see how many we got in chat left here.
We got a few.
You? We got any raiders that we can do?
Not as far. I haven't had anything come up, so they don't normally start until, or they're on about finishing. I don't know.
Pop a quick look up to see what's going on.
Oh, Maya's on. Maya's coin's on.
Well, that's
Jeff,
a no-brainer then.
Jeff Crumpler is on.
Can is on.
Scrapping's on.
Doll's Dolly is on. Coin Up is on. Big T is on.
You know what? I'm going to lean
Spray can coins on.
Is Spray Can on?
Yeah. Not Spray Can, sorry. Can.
Oh, Can.
Yeah,
I'm kind of leaning towards Maya myself.
Let's go to Maya.
Let's all go to Maya. You guys want to put a link up?
Let me grab one here. Live from Vegas. Whoa, there's a whole thing going on here at Maya's.
Oh, cool. That's different. All right, let's do a raid.
Okay, let me just smash it in there. There we go.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for coming up. And
thank you for having me.
The guests. It was fun. We'll see you back here on Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. And, of course, we've got Coin World UK's wonderful battle chat on Thursdays now, Thursdays and Saturdays.
Yeah. I might do one tomorrow, though, because I missed out.
Oh, you're going to sneak one in there? Well, you better make sure everybody knows about it, buddy.
Yeah, I'll put out a community post, so I always do a community post. So,
Darren, you got anything coming up?
Nah, I should be making some stuff, but I haven't yet. I got stuff coming, but it's still coming.
Yeah, I finally fixed my iMovie, so I'm actually editing. So I got a couple that I put up today.
And thank you for the shout out earlier. That was really, really cool of you.
Oh, well deserved, man. That was outstanding. So
yeah, we just let us know what you think, and on your side of the pond, and then and we'll negotiate or something if you want.
We'll do. Yeah. I need to know an approximate figure on those coins that you do up, because I got a bunch of people want to buy them off you.
Cool.
Hello,
really
money.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll catch up on Discord and something like that anyway. And anyway, everybody have a safe week. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. If not, it'll be Thursday, and I'll put out a community post anyway. Nice to see you, Darren. Nice to see you, Captain.
Darren.
I'll see you guys
Catch you on the
tomorrow,
upside.
Wednesday.
You betcha. Ciao.
Good night, everybody.
Ciao for now.